Disclaimer, everything done in this video is in vanilla Minecraft. No mods, no add-ons. Enjoy. Hello, it's Ari from Ari's Tech Channel. Okay, I just really want to talk about this because I have seen so little tutorials on this. So, the first thing I'd like to show you is my pig killing machine. So if I were to just put a bunch of pigs in there. Let's do it until it starts cramming. There we go. And now, watch this. No one has been showing people how to do it. Let's do another example. Hit it, it goes down. Right click it, it goes back up. This is another update thing, but it adds the same animations. That's the main thing. That. Let's do this. Oh, sorry, wrong command block. It does those ones as well. And scale them all the way back down. And this is the main event. Now this is done because of a new entity called Display Entities. There's also another one that I haven't been talking about because I don't use it much, and that's the text display entity. So I've made a little notebook that shows you how to do these. So item displays are items, as you know, so you can see the iron swords. If I click this, an iron sword spawns, and item displays have no collisions. Well, all of them have no collisions. I found a way to make mine have collisions, though. It's questionable. But I'm going to put the command to get this notebook in the description. And so what this does is it summons a item display to make it snap to the block. I did that. Although you're going to have to be in the center of the block to start off with. You can do that by /TP, click this top number, and just get rid of the numbers there and click enter. And you should be in the same block most of the time. Some of the times you're too far into another block, it snaps you to the other block. But I like doing that to do it. But if I summon something now, it's not snapping now, which is actually pretty weird. But as you can see, the block actually snaps. I think the item doesn't need the 0.5 stuff. However, the block definitely needs it. The text display just sums it there. But yeah, so they don't have any collisions. I found a way to do it by putting a barrier block in. And you can jump on it, and it looks like a normal block, and then you break it, and you realize it's not a normal block. But the reason you can do this with falling sand blocks. As you can see, it drops down, but if you add the no gravity tag to it, it doesn't do that, so let's just add that. And also let's just set to the time to -999,999. This generally stays for a long time. Not always. It will sometimes, after like a year or two, it will disappear. That's only a concern on servers though. But yeah, that's falling block, and then you can literally just add in a barrier, and boom, you have collisions. Wow. But the reason it makes this is so special is because of the way you can animate it. Yeah, that's right. You can animate these things. That's how I've been able to do this. And I'm just filling in this area with barriers to make this work, so As you can see if I hold this up, there is a bunch of particles, that's why it's lagging. But yeah, if I were to jump on this thing, you can see it comes out with red particles. And when I mine it, I can go inside it and look at how many red particles there are. If I look away. Alright, let's bring that back. As you can see, all the barriers are gone. So, yeah, that's how that works. This one just stretches it. So, I was saying to myself, why are there no tutorials on how to do this? Why? I was struggling so much trying to make this work. So, I'm going to paste a command at the bottom. That's not the book. And it's going to be this command. Sorry, not that one. Around the same of this command right here. This is going to be a default command. Let me just get it in a book. Here we go. So, the thing with this, so data merge entity, basically you can edit the MBT data of an entity, and we are going to get the block display of a distance of .10. So you have to make sure your block displays in a distance of 10 when you're doing that. Limit 1, because it has to be 1. However, I figured out you don't have to, if you want to select 2 at a time like I've done here, you have to use execute as, then do the entity, so in a distance of that, and make it a type block display. Run data merge at S. So that's what it is. So execute will make you all of them, and then it will you can access your current entity, which would be both of them. Then when you've done that, you want to do this jumbled mess, which, alright, let me explain it. So it's very complicated. So you start the interpolation, which basically makes a smooth value that goes from A to B. So from your start to finish. And then if you set to -1, which is what you should do, it will do it in game time. Next, you want to do transformation, which is what you're going to be going to, and set the scale. The default for all of them is going to be size 111, and then it will. If you set, let's say, the Y to 20, then it will multiply the size by 20, and then the block state is just the name. So if we click done and we go back to here, as you can see, we do the block state. That's just the setting it to the same block. And then interpolation duration, that's basically the speed that it goes at. It is incredibly complicated and took me so long to find it. I actually saw it on the screen. I had to type it all down manually. But yeah, that's basically how you do the block stuff. So let's say we want to set the scale to so let's create a block far away from that so it doesn't mess with that. So let's create a block default, which create an iron block. That's my default block. Then we do a command block and we paste what I just copied in there. And instead of white wool, let's type in iron underscore block, and then we're going to get a button, and hopefully when we press this, yup, it just set the height to 20. And then if you want to reset to default, you can grab the command that I did by default. Edit to make the iron block work. and it will go back to normal. And there you go. The basic gist of how it works. So that's the block display, and it took me a while to figure out how to summon it because it kept erroring all the time with the block state stuff to make it look right. But because it's error by default when you just summon it. So this is the item display then, and you summon this by in the thing, instead block state type item, and then in it ID, and then your thing, and then count 1B. Hold up, I'm just gonna go get that command. Okay. Okay, so now we can edit it. So we're gonna leave it by default, and you can just, but let's say you want to do a diamond pickaxe. Diamond pickaxe. And boom, you can do that. So we're gonna copy this, done, and we're gonna slash summon it. Oh, did I misspell diamond? Oh, I forgot a K. Yep, there it is. So you have to be very precise with that. Next, we're going to put 2 more command blocks down. And we're going to go over here. Let's get a command. Because it is incredibly difficult to do it with from scratch. So we're basically doing the same thing. We're starting it, and then we can set the scale of it, and block state, iron sword, installation. So we are doing the same thing. Exactly the same thing. We're going to paste that in, and this time it is iron sword. And, oh no, it is an iron sword. It isn't. Thought it was. Let's reset that to diamond. Oh. Diamond underscore pickaxe. Done. And then now when we hit it, it should. Oh, that is an incredibly cursed image. You know what? Just to fix that, I'm just gonna go in here and just. That just made it 3D. Boom! Much better. Next, I want to be able to set it back to the beginning, which will just be setting diamond pickaxe. Oh wait, I spelled it again. I'm always bad with that one. And then, there we go. So we click this, it goes back to normal. Now, the thing about text displays is I haven't really messed with it, so I don't really know how to use the text displays. So I'm gonna have to do some work to figure out the text displays. But first, let me show you how all of this works. So to start off, this one here, when I click it, it extends it up and down. Nothing new with that, we did it over there. And then it just goes repeater and puts it back to the beginning. Next, over here, we're doing a new command called /damage. Now this video is about data types, so I won't get into much detail. But basically, we can now, it's still very amazing, this command, /damage the mob that you want to do. So we do @e type equals pig. We'll just do distance. I don't know why you don't need to, you need it in. I don't know why. Oh, used the wrong thing there. I don't know why it won't let me do it for multiple. I mean, it doesn't really make sense why you wouldn't be able to do it for multiple. But you can still use my same command with the execute thing. I'm just not going to do that and just do limit 1. Then we're going to just damage amount, so let's do 20. And then the reason they died, I'm going to do arrow by Mechanicari. And boom. So yeah, that's my killing machine. So what I do with this one is if I click it twice, summons a bunch of pigs. I find the third time I click it, does that. The way I do that is I just summon a pig and I do repeat needs redstone whenever I click it. As long as the button's on, it will do it. So if I switch this to a wooden button, which if you didn't know, it extends the duration, it'll do longer the pigs, more pigs. And then when I click this, it does the damage. By going through here, up, and going to the command block, which is repeating, but needs redstone, run damage. Generic by Mechanicari. And it is so perfect. The next thing is the punchy thing, which took me a while to figure out because it is a totally different system to detect interaction in. I'll probably make a new video all about this because it was incredibly hard for me to figure it out because they had no tutorials on this either. Seriously, is it because of the new stuff? So when you hit this, all you have to know is that it shrinks the interaction box so you can no longer right click up here, and when you hit that, it does the same thing again. When you right click it, it brings it back up. So the way this works is the interaction will give a certain value if it's been targeted, which means that if I right clicked it, then on target, you will be it's this entity. Well, the command block will be called whoever right clicked it, or yeah, but it will keep repeating until it doesn't have that value anymore. So you set block 2 blocks this way, redstone, then it goes into here, which will kill this box, and then it will go into this one, which will summon it again with a response of 1, which basically means that my hand will do this animation when I hit it. Then this one will set blocks, so it will set this redstone block that would be here to air, so that it doesn't just hold down on it and it won't work again. And then it sets this 2 times. So these next few commands are what happens when you click it. So for this one, it basically shrinks the white wool, which you've already seen that, just brings it down to negative values. And then what happens then is it deletes the redstone block. I'm not sure what this one does. Oh, this one resets the height of it to this much. Next of all, when you hit it, it activates this command block, which does the same, but it's attacker, and it puts a redstone block here, which goes into this one. It kills it again, it summons it again to reset it, and then it sets that to air as usual, and sets that redstone block. Now, this, as you may think, first of all, it puts the interaction box height to 0.1. Sorry, first of all, it shrinks the white wool. This one does the height, and then finally it sets that to air. And yeah, that's the secret to this one. And I have to say, you cannot use barriers in these type of things, because that just prevents it. I'm not going to show that off because it's going to be hard to place the barrier there in the first place. But yeah, let's say you accidentally destroy it while you're doing it. I have these two handy command blocks, which when I click it, it will TP me there, and it will summon something at the place. And so that's that. I'll put this world download in the description, actually. That'll be useful. And then when I hit this lever for this creation, it will extend this forward, which makes a piston sound effect, which will then activate this, which will, of course, set the scale, which you know about that. And then it fills it with barriers, which I talked about earlier, to add collision to it. And then this one, it activates, so I like this one, this value, because when it activates this, it will turn this off, which means this isn't on. But when I deactivate it, it turns this on, which means that it will be able to shrink it again. And this one, it will fill it with air to make sure the barriers are gone, and then it will set block this one to barriers. And yeah, that is so cool the way I did that. And as I said, I couldn't find any tutorial anywhere on how to do this. I had to figure this out all by myself. It was crazy hard to do. So yeah, if you want to make these cute little text things, or this block which I can change the animation of, or this sword which I can move around, and I haven't completely figured out the moving yet, but yeah. Then be sure to try this out for yourself and enjoy it. My name is Ari, and that was that stuff.